Now, okay, if you could explain, I have as well noticed, and I think it's a good subject to explain.
There are various ways of looking at allergies. Allergies come in different forms. They can be in form of waves, but they can also come in forms of broken glass. It all depends on the sender, on the perpetrator, who is sending the wrong intention. We can receive these allergies, as you so call it, from the sky. For we know that what we breathe in the sky is invasive. In some of us, with sensitivities to energies, will experience such distortions as allergies. Is that clear?
Yes. So is it in a sense negative energy that has created into an allergy, and is that a way that the human body is trying to actually release it by creating the mucus and the inflammation and so on?
Different bodies will create different forms of defense. The defense that's created within the body depends on the frequency of the body and of the mind and of the spirit of the vessel. So in some vessels, it will create tears, like in this vessel. In other vessels, it will create mucus. In other vessels, it will create skin irritants or coughing or itching. So there is a multitude of ways of reaction, and they all depend on the vessel, on the frequency the vessel currently lives in, and of course, the environment. And of course, we shall not forget nutrition plays a big portion of importance in the reaction. Yes.
Okay. Would you be able to explain to us what chemtrails are, please?
The chemtrail itself, in its physical form, is like a powder and a combination of a powder with a gas. The issue lies not just in that, because that in itself is poisonous. The intention behind it is the danger. If animals and plants were to absorb just alone the poisonous gas and the chemicals that lie within, they would die. They would wither. They would mutate their cells. Now, the content and the measurement is precise enough to fulfill the intention, the human intention behind the spraying. Does this make sense to the human brain?
Yes. And I am thinking of ways that I can ask further questions on this. Bear with me. Now, you said that if a plant and an animal would intake these chemicals that are coming upon, say, the human, they would wither away. Is
And
that explained?
cells of the animals that we eat have turned very ugly. It is not pure. There is no love in those cells anymore. There is sadness. Those animals are tortured in every way, not just physically, but in the feeling and in the life. For we are all life forms. even the flowers. If you ask the living flowers on your planet what they feel, they will tell you, and they will cry, and they will tell you the harm and the pain they feel. But all that will change. All that will change.
Beautiful. And is that specifically you're speaking of the chemicals because of the intent that is falling upon them?
The chemicals are the physics portion of it that, yes, on its own are dangerous, even mortal. But behind it is the human intention that is just as equal as bad, or perhaps worse.
And if you could, if I may ask, what is the intention to these chemtrails?
To put into slumber, to not allow for awakening, to not allow for questioning, but to take in instead of questioning, to not be angered, to not rebel, but to follow orders meekly and gently. To poison from within is the reaction, perhaps not the intention, or the intention is all on behavior, but the reaction is what's killing us softly, as the vessel would say.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Now, is there something that now we understand how the chemtrails are affecting us? Now, what can we do as humans to perhaps not allow for that infringement to be as dense or harmful?
Water. We are beings of water. To receive the transference of densities from 3D density, 4D density, 5D density, we must provide that nutrient for ourselves. Water, clean, spring water. Most of us do not have access to that. So filtering would be the best alternative. That would be the physical side of it. The other side of it would be to stay within your God presence, to remove the narrowness of your brain mindset, to remove yourself from 3D, from the excessive worries of 3D, of waking up in the morning and asking yourself, what do I do today? What is on my agenda? I have to listen to the news, or I have to take my kids to school. The first and foremost thing that we must do upon rejoining our bodies, upon awakening, is to be in gratitude, to be in self-love. Self-love is the key. That alone raises your frequency. And then you have the other physical portion, which are the nutrients. There are many aspects to this self-healing and inner growth that we must seek before transferring into a higher density. But that will come with expansion, for we have all chosen this expansion if we are all here at this time.
Yes.
These are the words of the vessel.
Thank you. Now, in regards to chemtrails,
We can set force fields, but once they are absorbed into your body with force fields, they will be absorbed in a much lesser quantity. You also have to be alert for if in sight, it will become a belief. What I am saying and explaining is out of sight, out of mind. If you think it, you will manifest it. If you keep it out of your thoughts, there could be chemtrails in the sky and you will not see them. Is this understood?
yes. So, in other words, if you will set an intent, it is an intent where you do not focus thought form on it constantly. It is just an intent that you set. And you move on with your thought form.
Exactly. And that is how you deal with, and these are your vulgar human terms, not that I am judging. I want you to understand. So I apologize for using terms that we are not used to, but I want you to understand. This is how we treat illnesses. This is how we treat the attraction of entities. This is how we treat negative attractions, let's say. Does this make sense?
Yes, it does. And how about entities within people? How would you treat that?